Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Thursday, May the 8th, and this is your Daily Dose. Alright guys, we definitely have to discuss this particular article. Special shout out goes to Sam Takara on Facebook for hitting me up with this article. Thank you so much, my friend. Apparently Epic Games has just announced the return of Unreal Tournament. Now this project is not going to be for console, it's only going to be for PC, Mac, and Linux, and it's going to rely heavily on the modding and player community. Now, according to this article, Epic is going to spearhead all the development of the game, right? But the true collaboration is going to come from the fans. And what they're doing is they're opening up forums, also like an official wiki, and players from, all around the world can get together and basically help create aspects of the game, from weapon balancing to maps, etc. Now, here's a quote from Epic. They say, "It will be many months until the game is in any sort of playable state, but when it is playable, it will be free. Not free to play, just free." Now you guys know what I was thinking when I read this for the first time, right? When are they going to hop in and start talking about microtransactions, right? Because that seems to be the norm with the way things go these days. But that's not the case at all, not with this particular game. They're basically going to be making the source code available to fans, including all updates, right? And modders will be able to take the code and then create their own version of the game. Now, according to this article, they'll eventually make money via a Steam, marketplace type scenario. And the way this is going to work is that modders, developers, artists, and gamers can give away, buy, and sell mods and content, and Epic will just take a cut. Now, in a Twitch stream, Epic project lead Steven, I think his name is Polgi, said that traditional competitive deathmatch will be the initial focus of the development, but modders and community members would no doubt add their favorite player mods and changes as time goes on. Alright, so let me go ahead and say this right off the bat. You guys know that I don't do a lot of PC gaming, so I'm not even sure if this sort of business model exists out there already or not in the PC world. But regardless of that, I think this is a super good idea. Let me go ahead and add this too. You guys know how I feel about microtransactions and DLC. I can't stand them, right? I can't stand them because there's a power struggle that goes on between gamers and studios and publishers, right? And with microtransactions and DLC, in most cases, we lose because these are things that should have been packaged in with the original game in the first place, thus constituting our $60 purchase. You see what I mean? But at the end of the day, they end up nickel and diming us for the same amount of content, so we lose. But in this case, if I'm reading this article correctly and I'm understanding it correctly, Epic is going to give me the game, the final version of the game, which is going to be community generated, but it's still going to be what they feel like is the final build of the game that I can play for absolutely free. And then if I decide that I want to go out there and buy another map pack or buy a mod from not Epic, but from another gamer, then I can do that. And here's the difference, right? If I'm spending my money and I know that some of it's going to Epic and some of it's going to another gamer, I feel better about that purchase. And at that point, I would not mind paying for it, not one bit, because I already have the quote-unquote definitive version of the game, not a watered down version of the game, right? I've already got the end-all build from Epic in my back pocket for free, which means I can play that game, no questions asked. There's no microtransactions in that game. You see what I mean? There's no guns that got withheld from that version of the game. There's no maps that got withheld from that version of the game. It's intact 100% for me to play and enjoy for free. Then if I want to go out and buy something, I know that I'm putting money back into other gamers' hands. I do know that Epic's making their cut, but that seems more logical to me than just, a company nickel and diming me for camos and all this kind of stuff, right? And that really is the issue, isn't it? Is that games that come out nowadays that offer microtransactions and DLC, they're watered down versions of the game. You know what I mean? They are. If you really want to get the true value out of the game, you almost have to go out and buy the microtransactions and the DLC. You see what I'm getting at? Because in most cases, those are the items that you would want to play with anyway for your $60. So it's kind of a forced buy. But in this particular instance, it's not a forced buy because you have a game that Epic created based on community feedback, but that's their definitive version of the game in your hands, complete. And then you have the option of going out and buying new mods and buying new things, but knowing that it's going in knowing that it's a fair marketplace, and that gamers are going to be making a little bit of money. I'm going to be able to, you know, experience the game in a different way. Epic's going to make their cut. I'm cool with that because that puts balance back to everyone. You see what I mean? You've got value and you have balance, and there's no better way to do business in my opinion. So if everything plays out the way that I'm reading it and the way that it seems, I really do like where this is headed.